We are live.
Okay, let's do it.
The following program is a real estate and mortgage show and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is advised. Good morning and welcome to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony, right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board right now, send us an email. Our email address is onair@yourteam.pro.
This is the March. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your hosts of Your Home, Your Money, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony.
Good morning, people. You're on mute, Randy.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Yeah, Mike muted us. How are you guys this morning?
Don't yell. You've got a sore throat.
I gotta yell. Yeah,
Morning.
yeah, I am
Good
sick.
morning.
Can't believe it.
Yeah. We're down here in the sun and my guy gets sick. So
I get sick when I go and see lawyers. That's when I get sick. So I think that's what did it.
Okay,
Spending
yeah.
half a day on that.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's a whopping 30 degrees here. Sunshine.
In Barbados.
Nice.
We got sun, but no heat.
No heat. The heat's not here yet. Next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, maybe you guys just don't deserve it.
No, we don't.
That's
Yeah.
just
My throat feels fine though.
Wednesday's supposed to be 23.
What? Really?
Wednesday
What's
coming up.
the-
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Oh, we should come back for that.
Yeah.
No, if you got like 30 degrees, stay there.
And palm trees.
Yeah, exactly.
23 is nice though.
Oh, nice for up
Not
here.
bad. Yeah.
We can wear shorts.
When we
t-shirt.
left at the beginning of the week, it was only 6. So
Wow.
So that's pretty good. But anyways, here we are,
Yep.
keeping
Here-
up. We're still keeping up with what's going on in Toronto and the real estate. So, yeah.
And we want to apologize to everyone because we did not do our March spin. So we're going to do the March spin and the April spin. We have all the March people who submitted their applications for the month of March. And we have the April people who submitted their ballot for the for the April. So what we'll do, we'll run the March one now and the April one
At the end.
closer to the end of the show. And it's kind of a new one now. So basically, not only do you get a $25 gift certificate from Amazon, but you get to a point for each person who signed up. We are awarding $1 or some money towards it. In this case, $1. It does change depending on the number of people, but it's $1 for each person to go to your favorite charity. So
So the number of people that enter the draw will match that number in dollars for the winner to donate to their charity.
yeah,
And if their charity has got something to do with animals, I'm going to love them even more.
I'm not sure about that one. But it depends on
Which
the
this
animal.
points down to the rescue and seeing it here.
You're going on your own. You know,
Possibly.
Amanda had sent us a video of a guy who has, purebred and that, and the lady who
They're
had
bred what?
purebred dog. And then the lady he was talking to had a rescue dog. And supposedly because she had the rescue dog, she's more compassionate and all that stuff because she's rescuing dogs. Well, he said, well, no, what I do is I go and get them before they become a rescue dog.
Yeah.
That way, I'm saving them from going to the rescue. I thought that was a pretty good comeback.
Well, when you think about it now, like years ago, because we have poodles, because I have allergies, my daughter has allergies, and Randy does not want fur around the house. So we've always had poodles, and there was no rescue for poodles. You could not find a rescue place that had a poodle. Now there's rescue places that just have purebred poodles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm on them on Facebook, right, from all over, and so I mean, it's people get these animals and they think, oh, yeah, it's an animal. It's work, and it's love. And here in Barbados, they have a really, really bad problem with strays and that. And I don't know, when we got here, there's a lot of people that come from Canada and that, and they bring their big carrier with them, and they bring back rescue animals to different organizations because it's so bad here. And I believe one of our friends here, the operator of the resort, said last month they sent like about 1,000 dogs
A plane load of
to
dogs.
Canada. Like it's a real problem here.
When you say it's bad, like the dogs are being mistreated, or are they just
No, it's just a lot of them, a lot. Like it's profound amount of strays, because people get dogs and they just don't understand that.
I know in Jamaica, you don't really have pet dogs. There's dogs as they're kind of pets, but they don't come inside your house or anything like that. They're there. You'll give them scraps and stuff, but so I don't know if it's like that in Barbados, or if they're actually pets in Barbados, but
50-50.
Yeah.
It depends. Some people have them outside. I wouldn't say 50-50. I'd say 70-30, 70% that have dogs they're like children. They're children.
all right. One sec, guys. I have an email that came from Hannah. I think Hannah is one of our friends from south of the border because her the email says 23 degrees, 30 degrees. That is freezing. So I guess we should preface it. We're speaking of Celsius, Hannah.
Yeah, put a C
So
beside it.
So 30, I believe, would be like 70, 75, I think.
Yeah.
For you guys.
It's pretty hot here. We're sweating.
Wow.
It's hot.
Hey, Randy, do you want to unshare your screen until you're ready to do the draw? Because right now,
I'm ready to do the draw.
oh, okay. The bulk of the screen is your share, right?
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do the draw for March. Okay, so for those of you who are ready and watching us on YouTube, which is
Your Team Pros. Search for @YourTeamPros.
YouTube at Your Team Pros. Okay, here we go. This is the March spin to win.
Yeah, and it is Eric in. So Eric, you won a $25 Amazon card. And how many people are in the draw, Randy?
A few.
A few.
It looks like around
Thanks
12.
for that.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
would've
about
said
right.
that. So Eric, you can write in, let us know your charity of choice, dogs, hint, hint. And we will donate a few bucks, as Randy said. He never gave me the exact number to that charity in your name. I guess, is that how we do it? I'm
Yeah.
not sure. This is new, so.
Okay, excellent. So we will be doing another draw closer to the end of the show. I've got to load it with the new names, and I am going to get rid of that screen.
No problem.
Okay, so peoples,
Not getting rid of it.
I'm going to in a minute, as soon as I figure this out.
All right, well, while you're doing that, we did get another email in. And for all of our listeners at home, if you want to send us an email about anything related to real estate or otherwise, feel free to send it at onair@yourteam.pro. And as Randy said, you can also watch this online on YouTube. The search for @YourTeamPros. You can find the live video as well as all the videos that we've done over the past few weeks. I don't know if you want to catch up on anything that we've been talking about, but we got one email in from Hank. Hank says, "Hey, you're home. A friend of mine played Randy's show from last week, and it was amazing, very enlightening. Happy Easter to all of you, if you are believers." Well, thank you.
I guess he's talking about your show on Tuesday nights, and maybe if you said just Randy, because I'm sure he's not discounting Anthony and I mean,
I guess
Anything is possible.
possible, but not likely.
So you guys got some buzz? What's
Yeah.
going on in
Go
town?
first.
You're gonna go, Jack, or want me to go?
Yeah, I can go first. So, I was on a little rant this morning about the whole, renter thing that's gotten out of control here. So apparently they're bringing down more, sorry, I gotta click on that one that I brought up. So they are now, revamping, everything to help protect tenants against landlords again. Now, this is a very touchy situation, because you got landlords right now, some of them are losing their investments. And I know some people say, oh, well, who cares? It's their investment. They already got one house. But those people that have that investment property, some of them have, given up a lot of things in life to be able to afford that investment. So they have something in place when they retire or when they're gone to the other side and leave their family, leave their children. So, but people are coming down hard on them. And I mean, I was looking at some articles here, and where landlords are begging their tenants to please pay their back pay. There's another, like this landlord, he's owed $9,000. He can't even get to speak to the tenant. He's posting letters on the door of the apartment because he can't even talk to them. They won't even talk to him. And he's like, let's work together. I don't want to kick you out. Let's come to some kind of agreement that is suffice for both people, but they will not even talk to him. So obviously $9,000, that's a few months that they haven't paid their rent. And I don't think it's fair that, that it's just becoming unequal. I think the government needs to come up with some kind of solution that benefits tenants and landlords because it's getting out of control out there. There's another article saying how this guy is driving a Lamborghini, but he pays no rent. So he hasn't paid his rent for months in this apartment, but he's driving a Lamborghini. So these are people that are taking advantage of what Kathleen Wynne did to the system, as far as I'm concerned. And unfortunately, I'm still bringing up Kathleen Wynne because she's a sore spot for a lot of people. So she's gone, but she's not gone. She's left behind a legacy of torment. So I think, I don't know. I'm in the middle. I'm not on either side. I just find that there's a problem out there with people having nowhere to live, but yet people don't want to rent because this is what they're getting into. There's so much of this happening, and now people are scared to rent out even their basement apartment, their extra. So there's not going to be any investors to rent out anything. So what's going to happen at that point when everybody says, forget it, I'm just losing money here? So then what is the government going to do? I don't know.
And even the money you make, because the taxes aren't as nice as they are in the States, where you can, I believe in the States you can write off like most of your or all of your mortgage, whereas here you can write off. I think it's just like the I'm not sure if it's interest. All I know is the tax break isn't as good as it is in the States. So even though you may be collecting all that, you're collecting that money for rent. A lot of it could be taxable. You can write off stuff, but a lot of it can still end up being taxable at the end of the year, which again just might put you in a higher bracket as well. So yeah, they're not always like living the life that's because you have an extra house to rent out.
Yeah, and I'll go back to like when all this started happening in 2017, and it was a total uproar with tenants angry and complaining that the investors were selling their houses because the prices were skyrocketing. But let's look at it in another way. Like, isn't that why we do an investment, to make money? Isn't an investment if you put it into, you know, you go on the stock market, you don't put it there to not make money. An investment is to make you money. So when it's a chance that you're making money, how can you hate your landlord for wanting to sell his house? Like, I don't know.
Because you gotta move out
I get
and pay a
that.
lot more rent.
I
So
get
I
that,
can
but
see them being angry about that,
I know,
but
I
there
know.
is the other side of it.
Yeah, there's two sides to the coin, and I think something needs to happen that both parties can be happy if it's possible. I
Not
don't know.
possible.
I
So
don't know.
No, sorry, go ahead, but it's not just the selling the house. Sometimes, like Jackie said, with this person just not paying the rent, right? They're not paying the rent, and then you have the landlord has to jump through hoops to get them out of the place, right? You can
Yeah.
go, you can do everything right. Go to tribunal. Tribunal says, okay, they're not paying, they can leave. The tenant still doesn't have to leave, because if they know the rules of the stay, then you have to go get the sheriff. The sheriff takes another 3 to 6 weeks, and you have to pay them, right? So at the end of the day, you could be looking at 6 months of not having rent. And most people, again, a lot of the small investors who have just maybe their home and have one property, where they're not like a conglomerate where they have like buildings upon buildings, where if two people aren't staying in a place, like, you know, they can, the other 10 units will take care of it, right? So if you only have the one, your house, and you have one apartment which you're renting out, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months not collecting rent could be huge. Could be the difference between paying your mortgage and basically being foreclosed on.
Exactly. And I mean, if somebody is in there, you know, like 6 months, 4 months, and they have not paid a cent, but they're still able to live life quite comfortably, like this guy driving around in his Lamborghini, then I think there has to be some separate, like the same tribunal, but there has to be a fast track. There has to be a fast track for those people that we call professional renters, who go around, they make up the paperwork, because people have been saying, well, then it's the landlord's fault, he's stupid, he put him in there. You can make up anything these days. You can have a number and call, and it can be your past landlord, but it's your buddy. You know, like, how does anybody know, right? So there's no protection there. So I think for the people that are doing that, there's got to be some kind of fast track through the system to get those people out, because they're not really, they have no intention of paying rent, where other people are struggling and still trying. You know, even if they're not paying the whole thing, they're showing some sort of commitment, then I think it's a total different category.
Well, this kind of relate to that. Like, it's kind of like if you commit a crime, let's say you rob a bank and someone steals the money from you, you can't then go to a lawyer or go to court to say, oh, he stole the money that I stole, right? You can't be rewarded for a crime, right? So I think to what you're saying, like, if you get into a property using fraud, then your right should be like forfeit, in my opinion. Like, whether
and you shouldn't have to wait through this whole system that you can't get in for 6 months. Like, I think there has to be a different, a little fast track for people like that, and they need to separate it, I believe, and then maybe it might get a little better. But then on to the next article, which is why I see why people are being like this, because I pulled up an article with the article actually says horrifying Toronto area rental is basically storage area with a bed. Now, apparently this is in the Milton area. It's on Facebook Marketplace, and it looks like it's even in the attic, never mind, okay? And they want $650 for this room. It looks like they had it rented out before, because like there's empty cans and everything in the photo. So they didn't even clean the room up to post it again, because there's like coolers in there, I guess, for food. There's cans everywhere, bottles of water. So I'm assuming that they had somebody in there renting it already. So I get that it's really bad out there. Same as I talked about last week a little bit at the end of where people are now getting in convenient relationships, where people that don't even know each other, and they're getting together to rent a 2-bedroom condo or whatever, because, and I get that it is bad out there. So that's why I said, I think something needs to be done for both sides of the coin here. And something's got to happen, because it is getting really tough out there for people to afford to rent anywhere. But yeah, that's my beef for that.
Well, I don't think you quite understand that article. They took the picture and they have all that stuff there. The actual, and what it's showing is the cooler is the fridge.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I
The
tried
cooler
to
is the
say.
fridge, and all that other stuff there, that's the pantry. All the stuff on the floor, the pantry. So, you know, you gotta get with the times. It's different.
And then the article, the guy who wrote the article at the end, he says, I'm not even sure if they're going to clean this place out before they rent it because they didn't do the photos. So he's like, does this come with the place? I don't know. But and you know what I thought of when I saw this? I've watched quite a few shows where they talk about like living conditions and how people live, like say in like Japan and places like that, where there's like even little capsules that you can rent out, which is basically just a bed
Oh yeah,
that you're staying in. And but then there's other places you see that it is like that. It's not any setup for, they got a hot plate on the floor and a toaster and whatever, and that's how they live. And it's like, is that what we're coming to? Is it coming to that point where people are getting so desperate that now like they rent a place that they can't even cook or do anything in? Like, I don't know. It's not good. It's not a good situation all around, but I don't know. Unfortunately, we laymen, we can't do nothing about it. We can complain and go on, but I don't know. I don't know. But on a flip note, if you won the lottery last week, you might want to buy this house. It's a $7 million home, and it has an indoor hockey rink and a Zamboni. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
This is in Collingwood on 25 beautiful acres. And I'm telling you, I was looking at these photos. Okay, I don't think the inside of the house is, it's all that, like the height,
Are you
but
able to share the screen, Jackie?
oh my goodness, I do not know how to do that. How do you do that?
I would like to see that.
Yeah, sorry, it's on my computer, but
Oh, okay, no problem.
yeah, sorry, but this skating rink is phenomenal. It has a huge changing area, like a locker room that's
Wow.
set up to look like a locker room. And it's, wow, it's cool. It's so cool. And then it's got a bar there. It's set up just like if you go out to watch hockey in the comfort of your own home and you watch your kids.
Wow.
And if you're not into ice hockey, you can turn it into a tennis court. So it's crazy.
What do they have, like the floor that goes on top? Like,
Yes, they have a floor that goes on top. Yeah,
Wow.
it's they put it on top and it becomes a tennis. But I mean, it is
is it
beautiful.
Scotiabank Arena?
Yeah, it's like the skating. I'm telling you,
What's
it's
the
like
what's the
and where the area that it's situated in, it is absolutely gorgeous. Like to look at the land, it's 25 acres. Like I said, the house is not this huge mansion of a house, but obviously this family is really into hockey, probably their kids. So this is what they did.
and they have a Zamboni too.
Yes, and they went above and beyond. Like, but Randy's not. Can everybody see this now?
Can you
Yeah, we
guys
can
see
see
the
it.
pictures?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, so it's
That's some
a nice
serious
home. It's
work
not a
in it.
huge home. Here's the skating rink. Everything else,
Wow.
look at this. Look at these chairs to sit and watch. They got the TV screen. They got the announcer thing right here. Go down to the next one, Randy. And you, and it's 45 by 95 foot ice surface.
Wow. Must have been a hockey player that owned it previously.
Possibly. So
Yeah.
this is it turned into a tennis court.
Wow.
Maybe we can do that thing where we the convenience sharing thing.
Yes, you know, 7
Yeah.
million, yeah. And here's the locker room.
Oh wow.
Like
Oh.
it's, yeah,
Amazing.
like this is like the part of the house that really makes the house. This is it again with a bar and
And that's in Collingwood, or where is it?
it's in Collingwood, yeah.
Collingwood. Yeah,
It's
Collingwood's a nice
25
area.
acres. Yeah, but talking about convenient relationships for this house, Anthony, I'll go on to the last article, which is Kensington Market. Anybody who's lived in Toronto or knows of it, Kensington Market is this super great place. People go to shop and buy produce and clothing. There's a lot of vintage stores there. And a big portion of it is on sale right now for $24 million. And there's a whole group of people trying to come up with $670,000 each to buy this huge area of Kensington Market. And that is available right now for 24 million.
Oh,
Is
wow.
it, are there stores built in? Is it commercial or is it like the housing?
I'm not sure, Anthony, which part, because the article didn't go into which part of Kensington Market that they're selling, but they said it's a huge chunk of it.
Okay, cool.
That's all for me.
Pretty good. I've never been down there at that market. Is it worth the trip?
I've never been there either, to be honest with you, but
Yeah.
people rave about it. They love
Yeah.
it.
You hear
I
it
never
all the
bought
time.
anything there. There's a bunch of different like stores and stuff. It's like, it's I don't know. It's, I guess, good to go down like once, I guess, to see it and experience
Yeah.
it. But
What's the culture
Yeah.
too, right? Like it's
Yeah.
it's a whole culture thing going on.
yep. All right, so I got I guess a couple too. One I have talks about the prices or what the Scotiabank thinks is gonna happen with the prices. They basically think that the prices are gonna rip higher, and they think that's gonna happen because of the fight between the Feds and the Bank of Canada, where the Bank of Canada is trying to lower demand, and it seems like the federal government is trying to increase it with different things that they're doing. So I guess it's going into a few different things, right? So it says the Bank of Canada has been trying to lower demand while the Fed has been trying to stimulate it. So they talk about the labor shortage, where the Fed has increased their labor by 420,000 since 2020, which is around, it says 51% of the population of Halifax. So they're saying while the economy is slowing down, they're basically hiring a lot more people. Also in terms of with housing, right? So Bank of Canada has been killing us with these rate hikes over and over again, but the Bank of Canada but the federal government is basically bringing people in by the truckload, right? So we're raising the rates, but we're bringing more people, which again is gonna. So one person is trying to, I guess, slow down the demand. Another person is bringing in a bunch of people, which is going to obviously increase the demand. And the article goes on talk about that. It talks about even other things such as even like with the rates, like an issue we had with the rates before. So when you have lower rates, you generally think, okay, rates are lower, price of house is going to come down. But what actually happened, or what seemed to be happening, is that even though the rates are lower, all that's happening instead of a person who could afford happened to our house before, rates go lower. Instead of buying happened to our home, they now buy a $600,000 home, right? So they basically they just spend at the maximum they can spend. They don't spend less because the rates go down. They just spend more, get a bigger house, which again causes the same problem we had before, where the price keep going up and up and up, because as the rates went down, people just said, okay, well, great, I don't have to have this 3-bedroom. I can get this nice 4-bedroom, or I can get this 4-bedroom with a pool, or whatever it might be, right? So it's kind of a just you try to fix the problem one way, but then other problems happen that I guess aren't foreseen or not really analyzed or thought about beforehand. So yeah, it's the article kind of just goes on to talk about all those things, about how again this is kind of a fight between Bank of Canada and federal government, and even just people in general, not just, I guess, living to what they need versus just going to the max that they can afford. And I guess that's kind of the issue we're having now with a lot of people who are struggling, where yeah, they could afford these houses before, but now the rates have gone up. It's very tight for a lot of people, and especially for people who had those very low rates, or those variable rates where went from 1% up to 5-ish%. So I'm not sure if you guys have any thoughts on that. I see Randy dying over there. You all right?
Yeah, Randy is dying here, I think. And I'm pumping him full of vitamin C, and
Yeah.
I went to the
What happened to those superhero genes?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
I think he lost them when he came to Barbados.
No,
It's
no,
a
no.
thing, it actually happens.
I'm still a human being, and it's at those times when I'm doing the intergalactic fighting,
Oh.
there is a new me that emerges, and I think it's based on the level of testosterone that may be in me while I'm flying around. It's different, but as I'm here as a mere mortal, it's I'm subject to all the same things you guys are.
Oh, so I'm sorry you have to go through that right now. It's not easy.
And the
Yes,
Barbados is
very-
your kryptonite.
Yeah, it's a very humbling experience.
But anyways, I want to give a shout out to Chris who sent an email in. Who obviously listens to the show and listens to me because he knows I'm a dog lover, and he sent me this.
Wow.
2 little dogs.
Hugging
Hugging, I can't really.
and smiling.
And smiling, so yeah. There you go, yeah, my dogs are my life, so yeah.
Check the next one, the on-air email from Jake.
What?
So there's an email at our
Oh,
I'm not sure if
yeah.
you have that one. But basically it says Jackie was seen in Barbados, and it's a lady holding what looks like to be an expensive bag.
Jake, you know me very well. Only my husband doesn't let me get anything like that.
You gotta wait till we have money.
That's a damn
No.
nice bag, though. I
No.
saw that one was from Cartier.
Oh my goodness. So I was right.
Money.
I have seen that bag already, Jake. Trust me, I saw it.
So Jackie, around how much is that bag, give or take?
What?
What's
How much?
the yeah, approximately.
I honestly, I never looked up the price because I can't afford that. And we had this discussion actually in the office before we left, because one of our dear friends, she is really into nice purses, and I guess they were sitting in the car waiting for their kids to come out from basketball practice, and she was going through scrolling, and she found this purse, and the purse was $6,000. And she's just looking at it, and she shows her husband, and he flips. And I'm like, we're allowed to look. We are allowed to window shop. Just because we're looking doesn't mean we want to
Hey,
buy.
you window shop that one and you keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jake,
don't-
where are you from? Are you looking for a new wife, Jake?
Don't tell your husband.
I don't clean. I don't know.
Don't tell your husband, because I don't know. Any guy that I spoke to about that said, yeah, that would make them very uncomfortable.
But,
They're-
but hold on. That's the purse, okay? That's the women in the purses. We get to the airport in Toronto to come here the other day, and he's always saying to me, the bags are so heavy, they're overweight. What do you got in them, rocks? So we get there. I had 3 suitcases. They all went through fine, right? I prepaid for them and everything, but they were all underweight. First one of Randy's goes through. So now all of our bags are gone through, except for his big bag that's overweight. And I'm like, well, at this point, what are we going to do, right? Everything's gone through. We can't switch them up, put something in another one.
So
So
you just gotta take all of her big brief out of them.
no.
And then-
They're called bloomers, by the way. That's what we used
Take
to
all
call them.
out in the middle of the airport,
No.
shove them in your pocket.
You know why it's funny, Ian? Because this is for him. Anyway, so I said to the lady, I said, well, like, can we pay? We don't have any choice at this point to pay the extra because all my bags have gone through and this is the last one. And she's like, no, you need to take some stuff out. I'm like, but I don't have anywhere to put the stuff I take out. Like, where do you want me to put it? Right? I said, I'll pay. Like, I don't have a choice. She's like, oh, but it's $100 extra. I said, do I have a choice at this point? I have nowhere to put the things.
You do have a choice. You
Hold
just-
on, here's the punchline. So we open the bay, Buddy watches. He has about 10 watches.
It was 4 or
Oh,
5.
okay, 4 or 5. Guess how much he weighed? We took out his
Did
5
you put them all
watches.
on?
Anthony, his watches weighed a pound.
Wow.
Each one?
No, all together. So
Oh.
just by taking his watches out of the bag, we were able to put the bag through. So now this pound of watches is in my white purse that now my husband has to carry everywhere until we got here.
I was gonna put them on my wrist. But a pound is not much. Like
Watch.
a pound of butter. Nah.
Why would you
She's-
bring 4
she-
watches to a vacation?
Huh?
Why would you bring 4 watches?
Because that's his
What do you
accessories.
mean? What do you mean, why?
All you need is one, right?
Who needs one?
Yeah, he has to match his jacket. Mike.
Oh, that's what it is.
He's one of those metrosexuals.
Okay.
Metrosexuals?
I don't even know what that means.
What's
What does
that
that
mean?
mean?
You just see you're a fashionista. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
Fashionista.
Fashion conscious.
Yes,
Okay,
he
well,
is.
well, you got the watches. One of them is a diver's watch. So whenever I'm going in water or whatever, I
Okay.
can wear
Because we
that
need
one.
to tell time when we're out in the water.
It's just because you got it, so you might as well use the damn thing. Unlike you got all these purses, you don't use them. You're
Yes,
just
I do.
looking for more purses. It's insane. And one blue for my blue outfits, and then a black one for when it's black, and a silver one for any other colors.
And the rose gold one.
No, I didn't bring that.
And the silver one I just took out of my purse.
That's what I'm saying. The
But you
silver
told
is
me
for
that
all
that's
of
why
them.
it was so heavy, because you had that big watch in there.
Yeah, the one, the
That's
diver
rose gold.
watch, the diver watches, no, it's
Is it
golden.
a tag or is it a Rolex or what is it?
No,
A roll, you mean maybe a fake Rolex?
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what it is.
No, it's
It's
that.
not fake. I don't
Okay.
like.
Because
buy
Tank
fake.
makes some really nice watches.
No, it's
But
it's
it-
it's some sports
It's like,
guy
it
that,
could be
Oh, okay.
Bulgari, it could be whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, just
Before,
watch
before,
it.
before you
You
go
got
on,
one on right now, or do you have one on your wrist?
no, he just has this
Oh.
one on, you know?
Oh, that's,
With-
But
that's
these
nice.
are watches that, mind you, that like, I mean, he's had for a long time, maybe like 15 years. So
Oh,
this
wow.
is over, yeah, like, long time he's had these
That's
watches.
how I roll. I keep my stuff, unlike some people. They just store them and then they want to throw them out. You go and you check downstairs, she's got bags of purses. Like, how irresponsible is that? Honestly.
How irresponsible is
I-
it when you go with me and you pay
No.
for them?
What about it? Oh, you got another email there?
yeah, I got it.
Not
Got one
even
from-
ready for her jokes. Not
From
funny.
So I can do it all right now.
Not funny.
One from William. He says, "Hey, your team, happy Easter. I would buy that house, melt the ice rink, and fill it with water and make a fish farm. Big bucks for that." Well, when I do buy fish, they're like a good $6 each. So probably
Yeah.
some.
You
Well,
have
we
fish,
did-
Anthony?
That's like basic fish, but yeah, but I have the basic ones. That's still mine are cheap, like, but some of them are like 15, 20, 30, $40. Yeah. They're not too cheap, and they don't last long either.
So,
Yeah. So that one and one more from Monique is basically saying, poor Randy, I had a picture of you blowing your nose, which you've been doing quite frequently.
I'm just sweating because I can't turn the air conditioning on in this room because he thinks that's what made him sick. So I'm like,
Cold air doesn't make you sick.
either that or you.
well, you weren't sick before, so it's not me. You can rule that out.
All right, so one more quick article before you guys blow up there. About so I remember before we are talking about a cooling off period in BC, and it looks like Ontario might be doing the same thing. There's some legislation that might go through where we might have a cooling off period for home sales. So right now, if you buy a condo, I believe there's like a 10-day cool off period for condos. And again, the province announced that the move in a new, basically they announced it on, I believe it was last Friday, an intention to seek input on whether it should be mandatory to receive legal advice before signing a purchase agreement for a sale of a new home. And also whether it should be mandatory to receive, yeah, I think I wrote the same thing twice. So yeah, so that could be coming to the Ontario market where you have a 3 to 10-day cooling off period where you buy a house, you say, you know what, I don't want this no more. And basically you don't have to buy it anymore, and then seller has to go and relist it again, which is another kind of can of worms for the seller, because selling a home is not the nicest process. Usually you have to uproot some of your stuff, and there's different things that go into where it's obviously not the same as just living in your home when you have to prepare for a sale, especially if you want to do it properly. So
Well, not only that, once a deal falls through, sometimes it gives the house a little bit of a stigma, right? People are like, well, what's wrong with it? Why?
Yeah.
So it brings a lot of questions to the marketplace that maybe don't need to be there. So that's a tough one.
It is what it is. Whatever the rules and the laws are, we abide by them and move on. And, as Anthony and I had this discussion several shows ago, many shows ago, that with every law, there's a loophole. And so, they can have a 10-day cooling off period, whatever they want. And then that's applicable in a buyer's market, which they already have conditions in their for buyer markets. It's 10 days basically with condos, 5 days with low rises or non-condos without the fees. And basically there's if we're in a seller's market where sellers do not want to accept conditions, and the market conditions are tight enough to allow them to do so, you're just going to see new clauses in there that, you know, the buyer it's still conditional for the buyer, but the buyer is putting down a totally non-refundable deposit, or they're you know, we'll see some variation of this. Now, if a non-refundable deposit is not legal, like you can't do that because there's laws around how the deposit would be, then it would end up being a damn gift. It's going to be a gift to the owner. I will give you, for example, if they're buying it for 1.1 million, I'm giving you 100,000. And I'll purchase the home at $1 million. The problem is that with every rule, we know there are other counter rules. So it's interesting to see how it'll unfold, but you know, it's fine in a buyer's market, but in the seller's market, we're going to find that there's going to be some resistance around that.
Before you go on to your I guess you're talking about the market, what's happening in the market. We had one last email from Kelly. Kelly says, this is you at the airport, so Randy at the airport, and it's a picture of the Three Stooges, and one of the Stooges has 4 watches on his arm.
Hey, Randy, are you able to show the outside at all, or the palm trees?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. We'll do it right, I guess, at the end.
Yeah, no problem.
Gary's doing his announcement, because we got what, 16 minutes. We have to do another draw, so I'm hoping to do the next draw right now.
Before we do, we had Gary let us know that. So for all the winners who do win our prizes, we will send out an email as well to notify you. So if you're watching this later, if you weren't able to get on right now, we will send you an email in regards to the gift card. So if you are Eric, or if you're watching now or later, check your email.
Cool. So as you see, we have a spin with a lot more people that came in for the April draw. And so we're about to do our April draw. Remember that this is for $25 Amazon card, and for the winner gets to choose. We're doing with this particular draw a charity of $1 for everybody who every entry that was put in, and the winner will be able to choose the charity of their choice. So here we go. This is April's spin to win. Howley S. Howley S is the winner, and you are the winner of a $25 Amazon gift card, as well as you will be the winner. You will choose where the charity money will go to. So congratulations, Holly and Eric.
Yeah.
May, March, and April's winners. And stay tuned for next month. Let's get the numbers up more so that more money can go to charity.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a win-win.
All yours.
Okay, so you know, what's been going on in the market? What's happening? For those of you who follow me, you know I've been sort of waiting for these numbers to come out, and they're out. And I was telling you guys that the March market had slowed down and wasn't going at the pace that we were seeing the February market did. So January The average price was 1,037,000, roughly speaking. But February went up to 1,096,000, which is almost a $59,000 increase. 58,977. So, and Anthony and I, we were talking about this whole $100,000 a year that you could make on your home. And we're seeing in February this big, huge increase. March wasn't as big of an increase. The average price moved up to 1.108 million. So it only increased from February to March, only $12,087. So that's really not a lot for a March increase over February. We're expecting March to come out with a big bang, but February came out with the big bang. So far this year, from the January prices, we've seen a $71,000 increase in the average price of homes, which is pretty good considering that we're in a real estate crash. Go figure, eh? So why would you say that you're in a real estate crash? Well, because sales are down 36% over last year, and the average price is down 14.6% over last year. So this is definitely the negative. We're seeing 3 months in a row double-digit decreases in the marketplace. So the first quarter is an absolute disaster in comparison to last year. However, while we're in this recession, we're seeing the market start to rally back. I don't know if you guys saw that video of a girl who was in a race. She was running, she tripped and fell.
I saw that.
And the other people kept going, and she got back up. She ran, and she came in first.
I seen that. Yeah, it was amazing.
That was absolutely incredible. And
Yeah, it was.
that's what we're starting to see the market come back. We should get her name and name the market after her. And so the market, even though we're in a huge, one of the biggest real estate crashes in terms of dollars that we've ever seen, we're still seeing the market rally and fight to come back, which is really pretty incredible. Now, new listings, here's the thing, new listings are down 44.3%. So if you think about sales being down 36.5%, and last year was a tight market. So what we mean by a tight market is that there wasn't a lot of inventory. It wasn't enough inventory for the buyers. But sales are down 36%, but new listings are down 44%, making the market even tighter, meaning that we're having even less inventory come out, and therefore buyers have less choice and are fighting for the same properties. This is why we're starting to see the market perform the way it is. And for the first time in quite some time, we have seen the average price higher, the average sold price higher than the average list price for the month. Now that's pretty incredible, because that's telling you right there that multiple offers had ruled and had taken over the marketplace, and had actually the sold prices right across the board exceeded the list price. So you can tell we're in a competitive marketplace again while we're in a real estate crash. This is really confusing stuff, really, if you think about it. But sales to new listing trends. So this is sales to new listing trend is really, you're comparing sales versus new listings, and we're at 46.7%, which puts us on the upper part of a balanced market. So getting closer to a seller's market, and 2.3 months of inventory is a seller's market. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing the market really, all the indicators of the market really supporting sellers and supporting an upward pressure on price. And yet we only had a $12,000 increase, which definitely means that there's a couple things happen. Possibly buyers are saying, whoa, 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 I'm not willing to do those heavy price increases in the multiple offers. So multiple offers are happening, but they're still within reason to when you compare it with the market conditions and the current market value. So we're seeing that. We're also seeing that like I said, month of inventory being 2.3, meaning that if we did not, right across the board, if we did not bring any new listings on, and as we're seeing listings are quite low, if we didn't bring any new listings on in 2.3 months, we'd be out of inventory, which is clearly in the seller's range. So we're seeing sellers out with the upper hand right now. And the government legislations that have been policies that have been put in place are no longer having the hold that they had when they first were put in place. It seems that when Tiff Macklin held the rates, that was enough to give positive confidence again to home buyers, and they went out on a rampage to start purchasing homes again. And that's what we're experiencing. Active listings are down 0.4%, so it's not really a big difference with the active listings, but what we're seeing is that old listings are sitting, new listings are selling. And average days on market, while it's taking longer for properties to sell than it was last year, basically like 145% longer, but still it's only talking about 27 days. So we're still under a month in order to sell properties, which is really, really good. Now, we're not hearing a lot of noise about the inflation's at 5.2%, so it's been gradually coming down, and the Bank of Canada is feeling very happy about that their policies, while they may hurt a number of people, it's having its desired effect on the inflation rate. So while the inflation rate is the focus, as Tiff Macklin says, that unfortunately it is going to cause some pain, and the people who it's causing pain for, those are the people who are hurting and not enjoying this very much. But it looks like here that we're seeing this gradual increase. So what we really need to focus on here, realistically speaking, is that real estate still looks like it's one of the best investments that you can do. And it's just simply because you live in it. You see, you invest in Apple, you can make money, but you can't live in it. You know, and we had a discussion that sort of reduced everything to the ridiculous. That 25 years ago, to rent a house was probably about $1,200 a month for a decent home. Now a decent home is probably about $3,500 a month. So almost 3 times what it was 25 years ago. And so what we're saying here is that if you bought a house today and took 25 years to pay it off, even if the house dropped to $0, the renters would be paying pretty much 3 times what they're paying today, let's assume, but you're paying nothing because your mortgage is paid off. You're just paying your utilities and your taxes and insurance. Where the tenants are paying that escalated rent that comes over time. So just based on that alone, real estate is a great investment. Let's not even call it investment. Let's say it's a great thing to do so that there's no arguments of whether it's an investment or not. The other thing is that we're talking about $71,000 in the first quarter. Homes have gone up in price during a really, tough time. A very tough time for many people, and the average price went up $71,000. That's a pretty good savings. I don't know about you guys, but if you save $71,000 in a year, you've done good. And so it just becomes very obvious for the people who are out there saying housing's unaffordable, kids aren't going to be able to buy it, and all that stuff. You really need to change that, because you're going to be right. Housing is hard. It is unaffordable. But the thing is, you're not going to get housing if that's going to be the belief that you have. Here's the thing, is that the people who have the assets are the people who are going to be able to ride this and surf this tumultuous times. And they're going to come out of it and be able to ride with the times. And the people who are just renting, they're going to be left behind. And we see it right now. The people who had homes, they're able to weather the times. Their homes are worth, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 more than it was 5, 6, 7 years ago. But the people who are renting don't have that. They don't have that luxury. And with the price of rentals, it's absolutely insane. Anthony, do we have any emails?
We have one last email from Steve. Steve is giving you the cure for your cold. 2 pictures. First one is Kleenex and a bunch of different medicines. Second one is a topless woman on the beach.
Oh, geez. No topless beach here.
Yeah, I don't think they have topless beaches here. But Steve, that's quite interesting. I will certainly check out your email and just to make sure that I think we're done here.
Purposes only.
All right, ladies and gents, thanks for staying along with us for the ride. If you have any questions, concerns, send us an email at onair@yourteam.pro. Check out this show and previous ones on YouTube to search for at Your Team Pros. And as always, it's been your home, your money on realityradio101.com. Have a great weekend.
Birds.
Thank you for listening to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony, right here on Reality Radio 101.